Is the Bloody Butcher.
A lot of firsts tonight. We got the Bloody Butcher.
Yeah.
We got an SCR controller, which we're running for the first time tonight.
Yeah.
Shout out old Whiskey Rebel. We got a prototype here. We're gonna sink or swim tonight, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if this thing works in front of the people.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to work fine, but you know,
I think it'll work good.
prototypes are prototypes. You never really know.
We did a little test on it before, dipped it down in some water and got it heating up and worked pretty good. I was pretty stoked about it. But what's our mash bill here?
This was 2 pounds per gallon, Bloody Butcher, and that's it. Just converted with the liquid enzymes.
Nice.
And so yeah, we're going to put that in there. We're going to see how that goes.
Pour it over.
It's
a crazy color.
Yeah.
It's like strawberry milk.
Yeah, kind of. We'll also get this. This mash is not super clear, so we're going to find out how easy it is to scorch on an electric element tonight. Probably.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are we going to heat up to start with the propane, or are we just going to let the electric do work?
Well, I think we're going to need to. I think we're going to need to use the propane, or we're going to run out of time. That's enough.
Oh,
save some of that sludge for something else.
Whoopsie! What else we got going on? Oh yeah, we're making a Pyment, which I'll let you know. I love Pyments.
Yeah.
Run us through that.
Yeah, so Pyment is probably, of all the things that are really easy to make, Pyment's probably my favorite, taste-wise. Comes out really good, super easy to make. I mean, there are complicated versions of it, but this is just grape juice from the store, 3 gallons of grape juice, 6 pounds of honey, yeast. That's it.
I think it much simpler than that.
I mean, I'll put some pectic enzymes in there just for good measure. Not even sure it's needed on store-bought juice, but I always put it in anyway. I mean, better to use it and not need it.
Not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so we're going to be making 3 gallons of that tonight. And that's it. That's all we got going.
Yeah. Well, let's get this thing buttoned up and I don't know. Maybe we go in fast mode here. Just work as fast as we can for like the next 45 seconds.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, we're running this as short of a column as we can tonight because we want as little passive reflux as possible. We want to pull all the flavor, get a lower proof. You know, this might be coming off the still at like 120, 125, somewhere around there. We'll see.
Yeah.
But we're not using the big tall column, and that's another great thing about this still. So versatile. We're actually going to be running in kind of a pot still mode.
I like it, man. Sure, get some of this flavor out of y'all. Easy.
Yeah. Probably the fastest setup we've ever done.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, wasn't too bad, man.
Like 4 connections, that's it.
Yeah.
So you can see we've just got this sight glass in here just to give us a little bit of height. We probably could have even ran it without the sight glass if we wanted.
Yeah.
But that's what we got, and hopefully we're going to pull max flavor off of this Bloody Butcher so that we can kind of get a flavor for it, you know, and it's one of the nice things about having the heirloom corn here now. We get to start experimenting with stuff, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. Well, grab a drink and enjoy the show.
Woo.
We're back. It's us. It's you. We're here again. Another fine Thursday evening. ABV Society Live. I'm Zach. That's Cyrus. We're glad you're here. Glad to be with you.
Yeah.
What we got going on today, man?
We're making a Pyment tonight. Of course, we're running the Mile High Still in a different configuration. We'll get into that a little bit later, but we've had some hiccups. And then what else?
It was a wild start to this. This run, by the way. But yeah, we'll get into it hot and heavy here in a minute.
Right. Also wanting to know, how does the audio sound right now? We got some new mics.
Sound a lot better.
And
new hardware.
hello, can you hear me?
Operator, please connect me.
The mics that we were using in the intro were the old ones. These had not come in yet. They made it in time for us to get them charged up so that we can use tonight. And hopefully the sound is much better.
Doesn't sound as fuzzy. Audio's awesome.
Good.
This makes me happy.
Yeah, so third Thursday of the month. This is the third week of, getting ready to give this still away. Mm-hmm. We're excited about that.
Yep.
Most of everybody in the chat already knows about this. I see a lot of membership badges.
Our New Zealand buddy's in here with us.
Mean Deller.
We got Kevin, Scott, Terry, Trickster, Paul. Big bad Paul. Paul's a I like Paul a lot, man. I know Paul, I don't know if you know this about us, but we like you, man. We appreciate you coming in here. Garbage Throne Daddy. We got the powerful Miss Winsong. NFT, got Ray, Whiskey, Rebel, Scott Bryant, who is already gifting memberships. I know a guy who got the membership. I don't know the guy. I don't know. His name is I know a guy. I don't actually know him.
Winsong says, I was thinking silly thought to myself during the little commercial, 2 red shirts. It's a good thing this ain't Star Trek.
What does that mean? I'm not as up.
You can't have 2 captains.
The
Captains wear the red.
Right? Yeah.
Right. I think that's what she means.
That makes sense.
What color is Adam's shirt? White. What's a white shirt?
Oh, wait.
That's a supervisor in crop lingo.
No, the red shirts were the...
I didn't watch much of it.
Who are the guys with the big foreheads? Big naughty?
The red shirts were the nobodies, right? And whenever you saw somebody in a red shirt, you knew that person was going to die in the episode somewhere.
Oh, no.
Maybe that... No, I don't remember. I don't remember the colors.
I want to live.
There's got to be people in the chat that know this.
We have to have a
Sure.
Trekkie. Yeah.
Like there was, when you saw a specific color shirt, this person was going to die because they were a nobody on the show.
Right.
I think. Yeah.
I feel like
it was generally expendable, often dying on away missions or during the episode.
Yeah.
Interesting.
On away missions, right. When they go down to a planet, that guy gets eaten or something.
normally a little relaxed during these things, but I think on this one I'm going to be a little bit more on guard. I don't want to die.
So we will get into what happened between when we recorded the intermission and now.
Drips.
Look,
drips.
So we're just now getting drips. We started this at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
3 o'clock, something like that. So the first quarter pint that came out was brown. And
bad sign.
Smelled terrible. And my immediate thought was, we've already scorched the element the very first time we use it. I don't have a lot of experience with elements. I've always preferred propane.
And you have that level of experience. I have less than that because I've never ran an electric element before.
Yeah.
This is my literal first time ever being around one working.
Yeah. So we made a hasty decision. Some might say panic a little bit.
No, hasty.
A hasty decision to shut her down.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad we did it, honestly, because I have at least that peace of mind now.
Yeah. And now you have that experience.
Yeah.
So we shut it down. We dumped it all out. It's still hot. It's still like vapor, alcohol vapor. Of course, we had everything, the electric unplugged, the flame was off.
We did it safely.
And then realized we did not scorch at all.
Puked a little bit, maybe.
But we puked. And so had I not been running an element, I would have immediately gone, oh yeah, I'm puking.
I have 0 element experience, so I was just like,
Yeah. So anyway, we then
pulled the element out. It was shiny, nothing on it. Didn't have anything burnt to it. Dumped the pot out into a bigger pot. Bottom of it, no
scorch
problem.
evidence. Yeah.
Like this, the I don't know if it's technically back set at that point that it's been heated up to, but smell the pot. Pot smells normal. I'm chalking some of the smell I was getting off to a Bloody Butcher and haven't ever ran it before.
Yeah.
So
We'll back it off a little. Now we're gonna wean off of the propane because right now we have a propane and electric going.
very light on the propane though.
Yeah, we're gonna wean off the propane, go full electric on the SCR controller.
Not seeing the brown tinge that we were earlier.
A little bit, but that could be cleaning out
Coming through the condenser. And
leftover. So anyway, this run, although we may be able to salvage it, has been a bust up until this point.
yeah.
And
I don't think that's also that's no reflection on Whiskey Rebel at the SCR. I think we just got her. I mean, I really had that thing thumping, and it came all at once. It went from like one.
yeah,
Too
so
fast. It came up way too fast.
It's not. Yeah, we're not saying anything about running electric elements.
Mm-mm.
We're not saying anything about the SCR. We're not saying anything about the mile high. This was just complete user error, and
Been a good learning
that's-
experience though.
it's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you screw up, and I mean when I say you screw up, sometimes I'm specifically talking about I don't ever.
I know.
So,
I get it. I get it, and I'm just here to say, yeah, okay. I do.
Also, big shout out, Motor City Hillbilly. Send us the fancy little light. I don't
Get a
know.
little tight shot on that,
I don't
Adam,
know
if we
if
could.
the Adam wants to
That's possible.
zoom in on that little light back there. It's really cool. Got that in
Look
from
at this little guy.
Motor City Hillbilly.
Look at that.
Nice. Looky there.
It's because of the size shoulder, I bet you.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Look at that.
Looks great.
Look at that.
Looks great.
So yeah, thank you, brother.
Pretty sick.
Shout out also, Whiskey Rebel for sending us the SCRs. Just kind of a prototype, and we're gonna run it through the ringer. The fan is kicking on and off, and don't think that's supposed to be happening, but
I haven't opened it up. Don't look. Don't know that it's not on a temperature control or something like that. But it has gone on and off. And I think right now it's off.
yeah. So the fan's not working. That could end up being an issue, but again, just a easy little prototype that
Look down here in a
Whiskey
minute.
Rebel threw together for
It's on
us.
fire.
Yeah. If you see any smoke, let us know. But it's good to see everybody here again. Thanks for showing up. 42 people in the live, and over on the Homebrew Center, we got the live streaming in vertical format, like a YouTube short.
Like a short.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
cool.
We'll see how that goes.
Trying that out. Don't know if there's any audio on TikTok or not. There is. Wow.
Sounds good.
Impressive. Nice.
I'm watching it.
So those of you that are joining in over on TikTok, you can now see everybody else's chats, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, Terry says short stack, lower pot fill. Yeah, so that also has something to do with it. It's a short stack, and we slightly overfilled it.
There was a
bit.
lot in there for sure. That's on me. You guys saw who did put the mash in the pot. That is, I'll own that one.
If we post fire, run, boys. All right. Trickster reminding everybody to hit that like button. Hell yeah. So for those of you that might be in here and you don't know, we are giving away a Mile High Dual Purpose Pro Still this month, in the month of May. You can get an entry by any purchase on stillintheclear.com. If you purchase a kit, it's a double entry. And if you gift 5 memberships here on the YouTube channel, that's an entry also. So 3 different ways to enter. And yeah.
Also, you can just cash at me $20 and I'll give you like 5 entries.
All right.
Just a little this is a little side hustle I got going.
Okay. All right. I mean, that might have been something to cover in the weekly meeting, but all right.
Sorry about that. No, that was satirical. That's very responsible of you, Zach, taking accountability. That's what I do. I'm a responsible guy, even when I'm irresponsible and do something that may harm our run.
Adam has dropped the links to the Mile High Still. If you guys want to go check out the still that we're giving away, get all the specs, all the information about it, just click that link, jump over there real quick. Open that link in a new tab, so you don't have to actually leave the live. Don't have to pitch heads if you puke out all of your mash.
It's very true. Very true. I think I don't know, what episode is this? 34? In 34 episodes, I think we've puked one other time, and it was very, very little into our heads jar. I mean,
We shut it down real quick.
it almost may have been just, for a second too, I thought it was maybe something that was left over into the condenser somehow, but I think it was maybe a puke.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Rodney with the 5 gifts and an entry to win the still.
Here it comes.
Welcome.
Here it comes.
James,
Ready?
Paul GM, Talon, and Ali Aknbris. There's a last name with 1 vowel.
I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting. It's coming any second.
I think he's got his mind on something else at the
Are you
moment.
mashing them in? Hold on. That would have been
All right.
terrible if like a donkey or something just walks on, says it's a completely different animation, just like one we haven't even seen before. It's like, oh,
Oh, there you go.
not what I was looking for, but I'll take that. That's badass. Yeah. Slight brown tinge to that jar.
Yeah.
I think it's just probably working out the
Cleaning up what we left in there.
which hey.
You know, it happens. And it has happened on this run.
It's not the
So-
last screw up I'll ever have. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. It's not the last time we'll even puke a still,
I
probably.
think if you don't mess up a run here or there, or just mess up a part of a run, or do something like you're not running enough.
Yeah. You're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Dave, good evening, brother. I almost said good morning. I'm used to saying good morning in the lives every morning.
Yeah, I've been enjoying those. Also watched one from the house the other day when there was a blockade around the
yeah,
block. That was pretty cool. Just
Yeah.
being in the chat, hanging
Right.
out. It's nice.
Different
I
experience.
was sitting there just drinking my coffee like, hey buddy, how's your mom and them? It was nice.
Oh, well, it is morning for me, Diller.
Yeah, it's true. New Zealand time. Got to get over there and shoot some bighorn with you. They have so many animals you can hunt in New Zealand. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, ibex, antelope, all kinds of stuff.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah. Red stag, reindeer.
Okay.
Apparently, reindeer is delicious too. I've never had any myself. It's very popular up north.
Reindeer's a real thing, not just a Santa Claus cartoon.
Are you asking that seriously?
No, I think I knew that.
Now the way you said that
I
made
mean-
me think maybe you didn't.
I mean, kind of like not real sure. So,
It's like a Schrodinger's cat situation.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not real sure.
Yeah, no, they're 100% real. Robert Sebastian with the 5 gifted.
I am.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
There is another entry into the still giveaway.
Hold it down, dude. I love doing that. I know I say it like every time I do it, but who all got one? Brutal Bob? What a badass name.
Brian D, Rick Moreland, Kevin Goldbranson, and Quantum Resin.
Wow.
Quantum Resin also. That's a lot to...
Powerful.
Yeah. Strong name.
Terry Baldwin says, just another learning experience, not a bad thing. Yeah, that's... anytime I screw something up or something don't go as plans, I don't let it bother me anymore. It's just try and take whatever lesson was there.
One song, try to help Paul out. This may be a good note for everyone. I don't know how many. We don't see them on our end. Normally, when we're in the morning live, it'll show us like, hey, this message was redacted. This message was held back. So I imagine there's a good, fair few of them that we don't ever see on this end because the setup's a little bit different. But any type of cursing in the chat, and this isn't an us thing, right? YouTube just doesn't let them come through. So, food for thought.
There's old Paul right there. He says squirrel is real good in Arkansas.
Don't see anything but wholesome comment there.
That's right.
No reason to hold that one back. Yeah. Richard did got one of those entries earlier. Yeah. Richard, I'll make a note of it.
We'll get you.
To be honest, I didn't think about it at the time, but I'll make you one. I'll remember.
Speaking of Richard, he brought us something by to try.
Richard,
I'll grab some shot glasses.
it's got a thin candy shell. Surprised you didn't know that. Richard, tell the folks in the chat what we got here. Give them the mash bill. Let them know the process.
Where did it go?
It is. I put it on the barrel.
There it is. So he wrote down apple.
Wait, hold on. Winsong with the 5 gifted. Whoop whoop. Almost missed it, dude. Not today though. Not on my watch. I'll never miss one of those. I'm gonna finger gun all of them.
Thank you, baby. She is just gifting to be generous because
Paradoxical Anomaly got one.
Paradoxical Anomaly got one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nailed a good one there, hon.
Richard said it is what it is.
It is what it is. So
Fair enough.
It is apple rye that got a lacto. It's 115 proof. So he brought this by for us to try. She said, I thought I'd get a gifty in there while it's working. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We also have...
Ray said, unfortunately, not an entry.
Yeah.
That's right, Ray.
We also have a local guest with us again. Noah is here visiting.
For the lads.
Paul McKinley with the 5 gift memberships and an entry.
Come on now.
Thank you, brother.
Dude, I'll get that angle too. Freaking.
Are we piling too much on our producer's plate?
We gotta have a bucket
Can't
of
keep
water
up
or
with
something.
everything?
These finger pistols are getting hot. Apple concentrate, corn rye, and chocolate malt. I'm just kidding. It's actually really good. Got a scald on the back end.
There's something in there. I'm trying to pick
It's
it
that
out.
malt.
Is it the malt?
Yeah. I get chocolate off the rip. Oh, look at that down there.
Fancy new thing the producer put together for.
Oh. Garbage Stone Daddy with the 5 gifted. I gotta start. My pistols are like about to melt down. I gotta get like a. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure what kind of weapon that was. It's like a Madu shotgun type.
That's a pretty good apple rye. I like it. I think
You can get a hint of the apple. right?
I think
A little bit of that sweet.
yeah.
Got the chocolate that comes through kind of more so on the back end. And then
Yeah, that's good.
as far as ryes go too, because I'm not really partial to very many ryes. Like it's got to be
It does have a bit of that rye pepper.
pepper, yeah, like it's
right in the
spicy.
middle.
Yeah, it's like it's got a spice, a little bit of burn to it, which I would expect with most ryes, especially one that's not aged at all.
Yeah.
Seems like the wood can kind of soften that a little bit over time, especially if you're not using a char, like more of a toast
Yeah.
on a rye. I think it can kind of mellow it out a little bit.
Yeah. I think if this was mine, I would probably proof it down to like 95.
Proof it down to 95 and
is really good, though.
or stick it on some wood at 115 and then proof it down. I bet you end up with a smooth, nice little sipper because the chocolate and the apple are definitely in there.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. That was a good job balancing some difficult recipe ingredients.
Steve Chadwick got a membership. He'll probably. Steve Chadwick's a local guy, local radio guy.
Oh yeah, Steve. I know
Yeah.
Steve.
I don't know that he ever pops in here on this, but
I don't know.
Winsong says it's so not fair. Yeah, I can't win it. He can't win it.
I'd love to win it. We
Adam can't even win it.
we do make the rules. Like maybe
I mean, you are doing a Venmo project. So.
let me just clear that up too. If you Venmo me or find me on Venmo or Cash App, it's not an entry. I'm not going to send the money back, but it's not an entry.
Not an entry.
Yeah.
David with the 5 gifted memberships. Whoop. Thank you, sir. Or Hagar.
Hagar. Hold on.
Alan jumped
Let me see
in.
what
Thank
the-
you for the membership. You're welcome. I don't remember who it was that gifted you that membership. I think it might have been Winsong.
New members mashed. Got better mics now.
Yeah, we're working on getting some sound effects too now.
Do some voiceover work.
Yeah, the Adam has got a whole new system set up that he's working the kinks out of that are going to allow some
Hear me out.
nicer things.
Hear me out.
All right.
I'm saying we take the women's restroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remove the stalls,
Mm-hmm.
line the walls with like egg cartons, and just get like a really nice stationary mic and just turn it into like a voiceover studio.
Yeah.
Girls hardly rarely ever come here
I
anyway.
mean, the 3 that come in here probably.
I don't think they'd mind. I mean, it's open, right? Like we could leave the toilets, but I mean,
they could use the men's.
they could use them as there's a stall in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a interesting little segue here. Why are women's restrooms always nicer than men's restrooms? Have you ever accidentally walked into a women's restroom and like stumble? It's like walking into like a Narnia closet.
Yeah, they are always nicer.
It's nicer. It's always nicer.
It's a
the
break room.
reason is very
Yeah.
simple.
It's a break room.
The reason is very simple because women are not going to tolerate a shitty one.
Yeah. They'll complain.
They'll complain.
Yeah.
Like women want nicer things. They want pretty stuff. And if their bathrooms are crappy, like, it'd be like,
I think we're just used to it too.
hey, let's go to this restaurant over here. And she'd be like, no,
Yeah.
their bathroom is horrible. I'm not eating there.
I seen what others have, and I want that for us.
Garbage says there's always a couch in there, too.
I was about to say
They
they,
do
always have
have
a couch.
couches frequently. Also, why is that? They have furniture.
A TV.
We barely get working doors. Most times the doors don't work.
Well,
the
and-
locks are broken.
And we don't use.
There's no TP.
We don't use the men's restroom as a meeting area either.
Yeah.
And they kind of do.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't care how they're using it. I know what they have, and I want it.
Oh no, the gifting stopped working again.
What?
How about on that?
Seriously?
I don't know what that means.
Winsong says because some men have bad aim. They're not putting furniture in a men's restroom. We'll pee.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dude, it's just.
You probably would.
I don't know. I don't get it. I see other people have nice stuff. I want to have nice stuff. I've never walked into a men's restroom one time, except for in the Fort Smith airport, where I was like, "Oh, dude, this is great." And you know what? I bet theirs
there a couch?
across the hallway. No couch. I bet the women's across the hallway in the Fort Smith airport is way nicer. It was voted #1 restroom #1 airport restroom in all of the United States.
The Fort Smith Airport.
There's a huge article on it. Yeah. I don't know who puts that together.
I mean, I'm just in my mind. I'm thinking, okay, not many people voted on this.
No, it was
This
like
is
a huge.
This is a very low sample size.
We're a large community. We're proud people of those who are try to be somewhat studious about bathroom cleanliness. Good ones, bad ones. I'll tell you this: I've learned there's not a gas station on Towson Avenue that I will go into 1 or 2 in. Not gonna happen. They're bad. People sleep in there, and some of them. Yeah, it's that bad.
That's rough. That's rough. Motor City Hellbilly just dropped in. Glad to see you, brother. We were just bragging about the awesome light that you sent us. Giving you a shout out, saying thanks.
Check her out back there. Pretty slick. Yeah, I'm hoping. I looked at the tinge on that first jar, and as it's filled up, it's gotten less and less, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping.
Well, that jar will just get put in with the thanks.
Yeah. I'm hoping by the. I'm
We'll
hoping
let
by
it
the.
fill all the way up
Okay.
before we swap the
Yeah.
jar.
Let her fill up pretty good.
No Clue is over there on TikTok. Join us.
What's up, brother? Yeah.
I was really thinking we would get more people on the vertical side of the YouTube deal, but
It may happen. Yeah, I don't know.
It could happen.
Yeah, there's some kind of disconnect, and I don't know what it is, if people get notified or they don't get notified. But like, if I go live on TikTok just throughout the day, I'll have anywhere from, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 people in there. And then when I go on this, it's like there's kind of something that I don't know. But
Maybe TikTok doesn't like it when you don't use the native app to do your live.
probably not. I don't
We
know.
are using their app.
Oh, okay.
It's the live studio now. Who them?
We are using that.
Maybe I just suck. we thought about that yet?
Well,
Maybe you're not any good.
if you were getting
Give up.
if you were getting no viewers during the day, then we might say that. But you get viewers.
Yeah, a little
You know
bit
what I mean?
sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say we make some mead?
I could do that. I can make some mead. We're okay. now,
Pyment specifically.
I will throw this out. Can we do it in 25 minutes?
No. Must be. Yeah, of course we can.
That's a
Okay.
cool idea. I like that idea.
Yeah, we're not in a situation where the idea came to my head and I thought this must happen immediately. So 25 minutes from now. You're talking about like after the
After the first break.
intermission?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Man, I gotta hand it to old Richard there on the apple rye.
Not
That's
bad at
good.
all.
It's pretty interesting, that combination. I've never really seen anyone do the apple, the rye, and the
Chocolate malt.
chocolate malt. Interesting combination. Think it works well together. That's definitely one you should try to mimic and tweak and play with and fine tune.
Definitely worth some extra time.
It's got
on.
good bones already.
And I would make sure it got a lacto infection again. Like,
Yeah.
or tweak one thing at a time, kind of like what you're doing with the white corn. Make one change at a time, change nothing else, see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next run, you change one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing with that white corn. Trying to do everything exactly the same, process wise and ingredients wise. Change one element each time.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, I like this better. Like this, the thing that's hard about that is I'm not sure. Do you remember what still we were running last time we ran that?
Nope.
I don't either. I don't know that's gonna matter.
Yep. Richard's going to send us the recipe. Hell yeah, Bubba. Maybe we can even talk to Neil. Maybe this one is one that goes into the.
I think it's
Into the
mash
mash.
worthy.
I definitely think it's mash worthy.
We'll kick it to the brass over in England, but
Yeah. I like the new little
Richard, we're gonna.
comment highlight
I do too.
ability
That is
down
cool.
at the bottom. That's pretty awesome.
That is neat. Richard, we're gonna probably overfill this jar. We're gonna let it really run. I don't know,
Run its course.
a couple extra ounces.
We're trying to
in there.
clean up that puke. That sounds. different coming out of my mouth.
Yeah. I'm seeing all the jars. This is intentional. We are overfilling this one. The Duke is lurking tonight. Look at him down there. Mean Dealer says, I'm experimenting with sugar washes, adding some flavor by steeping some grain. I've got a stainless still. Would I add copper packing in the column for a stripping run?
I
don't think for a stripping run.
Yeah, for a stripping run, I wouldn't. Because the stripping run is just to extract all your alcohol as fast as you can extract your alcohol. And all your cleanup and making your cuts, that comes during the spirit run. So,
yeah. Just run it out as fast as you can and don't scorch her.
Yeah, Windsong's telling us to sober up. Pay attention to the jar checks.
We see them. We're doing it on it.
We're getting...
Who did it? KRB. Pew! I missed that one. Man, I'm getting a little slow on the draw here. Big H asks, what is your favorite simple mash Bare Basics? I know what mine is. Ponder it. I'll do mine first.
Bare Basics. Would you call an all grain a Bare Basic?
No.
So we're talking sugar mashes or sugar washes.
Beginner bourbon's mine. Corn and oats.
I would also say beginner bourbon for that. Yeah.
I think it just turns out
Some cracked
nice.
corn, some oats, some sugar.
I like the super simple. I like all the other ones that are just the sugar mashes, and there's even something to be said for just a straight dextrose and yeast and running a high proof neutral spirit. I don't think there's a thing in the world wrong with that. I think it's pretty clean. We did one the other day, in fact, with the turbo yeast, where we should have gotten the worst result possible in terms of a sugar wash, I guess, from the skepticism of turbo yeast has off flavors and this kind of thing. And I thought it was fine. I think there was a thing wrong with it.
Jason says corn, oats, and sugar. Yeah.
Yep. That's the beginner bourbon.
The super simple kit.
Super simple's awesome.
Fresh sweet corn and oats from Iowa Free Thinker. Super simple beginner from Paul. Super simple corn sugar wash mash all the way from Whiskey Rebel. Yeah, I think it's probably time to grab that jar. Right up there at the top.
I thought there was a crack in that thing for a second, but I don't guess there is.
We'll see how much it's cleaned up since.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, see if y'all can get a good look at this little tinted moonshine.
Barely tinge, but some tinge. May not pick up as well on the camera, but you can see it in person.
Well, that
there's some oil on top of this too.
Yeah, that smell has definitely gone away. And I would also be interested to see what the proof of that is, because
no telling.
I know we lost
a
lot. We lost a lot of our ABV when we opened up the still to correct the problem. And I mean, this run may not even actually be worth it because of that. But we thought we might as well just keep going, and we can share our experience with you guys. Maybe you guys can learn something vicariously. What do you think?
I mean, it definitely tastes off.
Lost some proof there, didn't we?
I don't know.
That's not very
I can't tell you either. Like, I mean, I don't know. This next jar, now that it's running consistently, I don't know. I mean, between the puke and all the vapor we shot up into the condenser and column and what made it, I don't know.
Yeah.
The second jar, I think, will tell us.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking this run is probably going to be a write-off. But, you never know. You can be surprised.
We're gonna stick with her and find out.
Paul Johnson says, super simple mash recipe. I modified mine to all corn. Well, hell yeah. I also saw he said earlier he needs some more cherry sticks.
We got them.
Toasted.
We got a bunch of them back here. Yeah, Paul, I knew you'd like those toasted cherry sticks, man. They're pretty
Dave,
nice.
we puked the still, and I was concerned that we actually scorched the element because we were trying to heat up a little faster than we should have, and we were worried that we scorched it. So we shut everything down, dumped the still out, pulled the element, checked it all out, realized we hadn't scorched anything, and that it was just a puke problem. But that's what happened, and then we just decided to keep going with it. So we put it all back in the still, heated back up, and of course we lost a lot of ABV over all of that, I'm sure.
I think we're doing what we would tell somebody to do if they picked up the phone and called the shop and like, hey, this is what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would be like, turn the pot back on.
Yeah, run it anyway.
Yeah.
People call up here, should I throw out my mash? They think something's wrong.
Very rarely are we.
Throw out a mash.
I was about to say we don't really ever tell anybody to do
I've
that.
got one at the house that has been in an unsealed fermenter outside for like 5 years. I'm tossing that one,
Yeah,
but otherwise, like
that's a science project though. That's
Ray says it's nice to see you make a mistake. Definitely helps new distillers not worry about making them, for sure. Like I don't mind sharing my mistakes with y'all.
There was a point right after that had happened though where I was like, do we just put a different mash in there and just? But you were like, no, I think we just be like, yeah, that's what happened. And yeah,
Share the experience.
yeah. Garbage Stone Daddy, I'd be a huckleberry.
Ed Clifton says, I started your super simple mash last Saturday. About how long does it take before it's ready to run?
Let's see them. People know. You guys know what to do.
Yeah, which emoji do we use for this instance?
Oh,
So
yeah. See that? I can't get down there to it. Wait, hold on.
You're awful close.
See that?
There it is. Yeah.
See that little guy?
Yeah.
so the answer is it depends.
Depends.
There are variables that are going to affect that, but you can expect under normal conditions, temperature and everything, and if you follow the instructions as far as how much sugar to put in it, and assuming that you used regular water and not some weird water, it's going to take 7 to 14 days, probably closer to the 7 side.
What's weird water?
Since it's warm. Well, I mean, if you had some kind of water source that was already a really low pH,
Sulfury or like weird well water or
something like that, like you would have a problem with a pH. You'd have a pH issue. But if you're just using regular bottled water, tap water, well water, that's not going to be a problem.
I thought that's what we were in the business of, is making some weird water.
We are kind of, yeah.
Yeah. It's done when it's done. Same answer. Pretty generally. Did you give them the general time frame?
7 to 14,
Okay.
closer to the 7, maybe even
I zoned out there
under
for
7. If you're in an area like we are where summer is kicking in and days are 80 something and nights are 70 something.
I've got and here's something too, especially for the newer cats, like first dozen ferments in or whatever it is. If you start a mash and it starts working off really hard and then it slows down a little bit and it just, it's fun. It's probably fun.
Yeah.
I think naturally the first few ferments that you have, we're skeptical because we're not sure exactly what's happening, what's going on in there.
Yeah.
And it's easy for us to go, well, something's wrong.
Yeah.
It's too early for it to be done, and it's slowing down, and it's, it's probably fine. Most times it's fine. And we get calls where it's still working. Like we'll get through the conversation, Like, well, it's still working. And it's like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
you kind of have this regiment of question when someone calls and says my mash isn't working.
Yeah.
You kind of have this regiment of specific questions we start asking.
when did you mash it in?
And then you realize
Where's it at?
It's still bubbling.
Yeah. And then
just
that should be one of our like second or third questions is like, okay, is the airlock still working, or is there still a cap on it? There,
Yeah.
you know, because there's still a cap on it, but still working.
Right.
And I didn't realize that when I first started. For there to be a cap on it inherently means the mash is still working away, holding that cap up.
Right. How do you avoid scorching elements? Low raise in temperature, is that best, or keeping it covered? I think the best option is to clarify your mash very good before you put it in a still if you're using an electric element. If you don't have anything in your still that, some stills will have an agitator. Who is that has the jet that pushes, make sure nothing gets on this?
Copper Moon.
Copper Moon.
He's got a really interesting setup where he takes water from one side of his still and blows it in directly onto his element and is constantly
So nothing can
circulating,
collect. Yeah.
moving liquid across his element.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty smart.
Shady Homesteader says one day I'll be a moonshiner. Yeah, well, how big is his still? Like he's got a hell of a setup.
I think it's a 50 gallon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
but
it's bigger than that. I
Shady,
don't know. I think it's
you
a 50.
already qualified, brother.
Yeah.
Winsong says no better time to start than now. She made Winsong is not a TikTok person. I think the only time you ever see Shady is on TikTok.
Shady said, I've never scorched an element.
That's awesome.
Distilling Jesus over there.
Yeah.
I forgot. You never made a mistake. Shady, I don't know if you missed the front part of the live, but we thought we scorched. We were pretty sure we did, but maybe we just puked a little bit. It's a combination of a few things. We've never ran this element. This is a new still setup as far as the column length on top. We got it really hunkered down compared to what we normally do. And it's a new mash as well. So it's Bloody Butcher that we haven't really messed with very much. And
Which is kind of a disappointment that this run hasn't gone to
I
fail.
know.
I'm really not going to trust whatever it is I taste. I'm just going to have to run another batch.
Yeah. Ricky Bobby 73, first off, before I get around to your
Ricky
question,
Bobby 73.
great name. Is 30-pound corn, 8-pound barley, 4-pound oats, and 50 pounds of sugar good for a 20-gallon mash? It's way too much, brother. I mean, 50... Well, okay, let me ask you this. Was it exactly what you were about to ask, which is he converting starches on the oats, barley, and corn?
Yeah, that would be one question.
50 pounds of sugar on a 20-gallon mash is what? 2.3, 2 1/3 pound of sugar per gallon. So you're fine there. If you're not cooking your corn, barley, and oats, I don't see a thing in the world wrong with it. If you are, it's too much sugar, maybe. Or at least really high, where your mash could potentially have some problems.
So I'm assuming he's not converting any starches, or he forgot to type malted barley, but that's still 42 pounds.
Oh, I read it as malted barley. That's all.
Okay, that's still like 42 pounds of grain for a 20-gallon mash that is technically just a sugar mash. And so that's about twice as much grain. So I would probably go 15 pounds of corn, 4 pounds of barley, and 2 pounds of oats. And the 50 pounds of sugar is fine.
Yeah,
That's how I would do it.
I like
And
it.
if you're trying to convert the starches in all the grains, then you definitely need to use less sugar, because 30, 42, 30,
Were you converting starches, you would have enough grain in that original comment to do the 20 gallons without the sugar.
yeah.
If you aren't converting, you still have a little bit, you have 42 pounds of grain and 50 pounds of sugar in a 20-gallon mash, and it's just too much.
Paul is making a note that this second jar already looks clearer than the first.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we just didn't have things evened out entirely on that first jar, and Got it up and high. When you taste it, and again, I'll for now, I'm going to chalk it off to it cleaning the system out. But the thing that concerned me more than that is it didn't seem like there was a lot of alcohol in that.
Yeah, I think we lost a lot of our ABV.
Did we ever proof that?
Now, let's go ahead and proof it and see. Let's find out right now.
Winsong says, yeah, I've seen him, but he should be calling him himself a moonshiner already. He knows he's a moonshiner. He's just horse playing around, just coming in here fooling around.
He thinks he's coming in here being funny. What he's doing.
Am I laughing? Am I laughing, Shady Homesteader? I was laughing. I had to draw it back there. He says, I mean, even before I got an agitator. Okay.
Well, 122. That's about what I expected.
What we were shooting for, yeah.
It was going to come out higher than that for certain because I know we lost some.
I mean, I hope that, man, I really hope that we get the situation where it's like we followed the advice we would have gave someone else, and like second and third jar we have like good liquor.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking. Shady Homesteader says, I mean, even before I got the agitator, I just put a pond pump in a brew bag and it seems to filter it well enough to not scorch. Yeah, I think I've seen guys doing the pond pumps off the top through a micron bag.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're taking those extra steps to keep your mash as clean as possible, good on you. I think what we did here was like, oh, here's a quick mash, real fast, blah blah blah, and let's just pull it off, put it in there. We're doing several things for the first time in a single run, which is never really a good idea to do.
Lynn asks, what are your thoughts on using bread yeast instead of turbo? So those two yeasts do not compare at all. I don't have a problem with using turbo or bread yeast, but they are just so far different. Turbo, first of all, has an alcohol tolerance of 14% and higher, depending on which turbo yeast you get. Bread yeast has an alcohol tolerance of like 9% ABV. So you're not going to be able to make...
Wait, what'd you just say?
I said bread yeast has an alcohol tolerance of about 9% ABV.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's about the best you can do.
Wow.
So that right there are the two main differences. Bread yeast is not going to, a turbo yeast, you can get a 24-hour or 48-hour, and it finishes out, 1 day, 2 days, and it's done. Bread yeast is not going to do that at all. It's going to be a slower ferment like other regular yeast, like a daddy yeast. So those are the two differences. Those are my thoughts. I don't use bread yeast mainly because of the alcohol tolerance.
Yeah.
So.
Big H says, off topic, yet thanks to you for wearing a red shirt that isn't so bright, so reflective that the YouTube host looks like a stop sign or emergency services. Get him out of here. Chuck him.
He's done.
Oh, but I remember we did that one time jokingly. I think it was like, I can't even remember who it was, but I was jokingly just like, hey, Mod, get them out of here.
They were gone.
And they instantly were like, checking them out. I was like, oh, I'm just kidding. Apples and goats. Paul? What do you mean by that?
Paul, apples and goats.
What do you mean by that, brother? What are you trying to say, man?
So what gravity would be to anything over like 1060 is going to be a struggle for bread yeast. And depending on the bread yeast that you use, even like 1045 can be a problem because some of those bread yeasts have like a 5% ABV tolerance.
Is that true? Turbo 48 will go up to 20?
I know it depends on your brand, but you can get a turbo yeast that'll go to 20%. Yeah.
That's crazy.
We've got a 48 over there. Go see what it says.
See for ourselves.
Yeah. The limit on daddy is 14% for a daddy yeast.
Well, I think you sold all the 48 hours.
Oh, did I? Okay.
But the 24 has up to 14%.
Oh, Paul, his apples to goats comment was in reference to trying to compare bread yeast to turbo. It's like comparing apples to goats.
Sure it was.
I use turbo yeast, but you really need to use the appropriate amount. Don't dump a whole bag in a 5-gallon batch. There's so much yeast nutrient in a bag. I use a whole bag in a 50-gallon batch. So you're saying you use the bag that says it's good for 6 gallons in a 50-gallon? Is that what you're saying?
How long does it take to work?
I've never done that.
How long does it take it to work off? Typically. Mead Dealer says, I just ordered some Red Label Angel yeast, which is 17%. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What's the difference between the yellow label and the red label? That mold?
I have no idea. I don't know very much at all about the angel yeast strands.
Flavor-wise, is there a downside to using either? If you're referring to the turbo versus the daddy, not that I've noticed.
I don't notice. I don't think there's, so far my experiences say there's not that much difference.
I haven't seen anything that would hinder me. Now, you use the Fleischner's or Fleischler's, whatever it's called, in the breakfast bourbon, and it's like some of the best stuff ever.
Yeah, and that was like 9%.
So I don't know, man. I think there's some downsides. I think maybe the bread yeast can react differently with some different stuff. And again, there's the drawback of the ABV and all that stuff, but
yeah. Shady Homesteader says yes, so he does use the bag that says for 6 gallons in a 50-gallon batch, and it takes 5 days.
Yeah, that's crazy. They're just
awesome.
Really getting us to go through those. You can make half a satchel if you shook it up real good. Go twice as far, 5-10 times as far. From what Shady's saying,
5 days, 0 stall in 50 gallons.
That's crazy.
Well, it's top of the hour. Should bring us out.
All right. Well, we're to the halfway point here in the show. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're going to get to see what happened before we cut the cameras on tonight, what went on before we started the live. You're going to miss all the unfortunate stuff of us pouring all that back out in the pot just to pour it back in there, but that's okay. The Hollywood magic that we roll out every once in a while around here. But you are going to get to see a little information from us and also what happened before the show started. We appreciate you. Take this time to go use the bathroom, maybe grab a cold Busch Light if that's what you're into. I don't know what your flavor is, but we will be right back.
This is the Bloody Butcher. A
lot of firsts tonight. We got the Bloody Butcher.
Yeah.
We got an SCR controller, which we're running for the first time tonight.
Yeah.
Shout out old Whiskey Rebel. We got a prototype here. We're gonna sink or swim tonight, man. Yeah. We're gonna see if this thing works in front of the people.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna work fine, but I
think it'll work.
Prototypes are prototypes. You never really know.
We did a little test on it before, dipped it down in some water and got it heating up and worked pretty good. I was pretty stoked about it. But what's our mash bill here?
This was 2 pounds per gallon, Bloody Butcher, and that's it. Just converted with the liquid enzymes.
Nice.
And so we're gonna put that in there. We're gonna see how that goes.
Pour it over.
It's
a crazy color.
Yeah.
It's like strawberry milk.
Yeah, kind of. We'll also get this. This mash is not super clear, so we're going to find out how easy it is to scorch on an electric element tonight. Probably
we're going to find out.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are we going to heat up to start with the propane, or are we just going to let the electric do work?
Well, I think we're going to need to. I think we're going to need to use the propane, or we're going to run out of time. That's enough. Oh. Save some of that sludge for something else.
Whoopsie. What else we got going on? Oh, yeah, we're making a Pyment, which I love Pyments.
Yeah.
Run us through that.
Yeah, so Pyment is probably, of all the things that are really easy to make, Pyment's probably my favorite taste-wise. Comes out really good, super easy to make. I mean, there are complicated versions of it, but this is just grape juice from the store, 3 gallons of grape juice, 6 pounds of honey, yeast. That's it.
Doesn't get much simpler than that.
I mean, I'll put some pectic enzymes in there just for good measure. Not even sure it's needed on store-bought juice, but I always put it in anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, better to use it and not need it.
Not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so we're going to be making 3 gallons of that tonight. And that's it. That's all we got going.
Yeah. Well, let's get this thing buttoned up and I don't know. Maybe we go in fast mode here. Just work as fast as we can for like the next 45 seconds.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, we're running this as short of a column as we can tonight because we want as little passive reflux as possible. We want to pull all the flavor, get a lower proof. You know, this might be coming off the still at like 120, 125, somewhere around there. We'll see.
Yeah.
But we're not using the big tall column, and that's another great thing about this still. So versatile. We're actually going to be running in kind of a pot still mode.
I like it, man. Try to get some of this flavor out of y'all.
Yeah, probably the fastest setup we've ever done.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, wasn't too bad, man.
Like 4 connections, that's it.
Yeah.
So you can see we've just got this side glass in here just to give us a little bit of height. We probably could have even ran it without the side glass if we wanted.
Yeah.
But that's what we got, and hopefully we're going to pull max flavor off of this Bloody Butcher so that we can kind of get a flavor for it, you know, and it's one of the nice things about having the heirloom corn here now. We get to start experimenting with stuff, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. Well, grab a drink and enjoy the show.
Woo.
And we are back. I don't know if you've ever enjoyed the good quality nature and flavors of a nice Pyment, but if you haven't, we're going to make one live, show you just how easy it is, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I think Pyments are one of the best things out there as far as just
Very
easy, good drinking, tastes good.
It's my favorite mead.
If you want to dip your toes into a mead too, and you like you're somewhat of a wine drinker, or you like making wine, or maybe you don't and never made either, this is a good one to make. And it's very simple. You can get everything that we are about to use to make this Pyment at, I don't know what you got. If you got a Piggly Wiggly, which I hope you do. If you don't, we don't have one here very close. Where's the closest Piggly Wiggly, Adam? Poto? Is there a Piggly Wiggly in Poto still? Muldrow. There is a Piggly Wiggly across the line into anyway, it doesn't matter. Walmart, anywhere, any major grocery store, or even not a major grocery store is going to have all this stuff. It's just grape juice and honey and yeast.
Yeah.
Some water.
Some hardware stores.
A little bit of love. Okay.
Thanks to the Adam for pulling a question that we missed. Ricky Bobby over on TikTok asked, what ratio would I need of corn, barley, oats to make my own sweet feed? So it's pretty simple. It is 30%, this is by weight, 30% corn, 30% barley, 30% oats, and 10% molasses.
Molasses.
Yeah. That's a pretty standard recipe that we've been passing around in the Moonshine for Beginners group for a long time.
You got a good go-to molasses, or just any old molasses will do?
I think if you can get a dried molasses, like at a feed store, that works pretty good. It's just because
dehydrated molasses.
The liquid molasses is just tough to get it all stirred and mixed in.
Yeah. You have to have a nice, some sort of nice setup, or just plan on spending a lot of time mixing and slowly adding the molasses in. Probably a 2-person deal there, but with the powder, it seems like maybe it's a lot easier.
Maybe not that hard if you're only doing, 4 pounds, but
It's true. Depends on how much you want to make.
Ricky Bobby has some unsulfured molasses. Yeah, use it. That's a good choice.
So, do we want to mix this Pyment up in the carboy or in a bucket and then transfer to?
Well, I think if we were going to mix it up in a bucket, then we would just let it ferment for 3 or 4 days in the bucket, kind of like a 2-stage.
Want to do it in the carboy?
Yeah, we can do it in the carboy.
What's the best way to mix it when it's in the carboy?
Well, the 1 gallon, it's just shaken. But
Yeah,
3 gallons is going to be a little tougher.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do it in the bucket.
I think because we're going to do 3 gallons, we should do it in a bucket. Man, I really need to bring my clear bucket over here. I've got a nice clear food grade bucket over at the house. Anyway, it's not here. I don't know what I'm talking about it. But, all right, yeah. Let me get a bucket Star Sand. I need to get I'll get a 2-gallon bucket of hot water first. We'll throw the honey off in it, and then I'll go back and I'll clean a bucket up.
Yeah. All right. So he's going to be doing that. We're getting the hot water simply to warm up the honey because it just makes it a ton easier to pour out and mix in if the honey is hot. So he's going to get a 2-gallon bucket of water, hot water, and we're going to just let the honey jars in there.
Sorry?
You might want to leave your mic in here.
Okay.
It's picking up all the sound.
Oh, sorry.
I think.
Like someone urinating. Yeah.
Maybe they work.
Yeah, so we'll be doing this jar here in probably 15 more minutes, looks like. Still has a tint to it, so another jar that's going to end up in the faints. By the 3rd jar, we'll see what it's like.
Did you proof the last jar?
Yeah, it was 122.
Okay.
I expected it to be lower than that, honestly.
Yeah.
But even by taste, I expected it to be lower. Just like using extract for beers. So yeah, the same, because I believe when you say using the extract, you're talking about the liquid malt extract. It's very thick and syrupy, much easier to mix up when it's been heated up. Jason, never had Pyment. What's it compared to? Just mead? So it is a subcategory of mead, which Pyment is just grape juice and honey. And in your mind, just think of taking a wine and a mead and combining them. That's very much like what it is. Trickster says cinnamon shine here. Paul says, I'm making good use of the mead kit I won. Mead, wine, cider, thanks. Yeah, you bet, brother. You bet. So there's, we got 6 pounds of honey. We have 3 gallons of grape juice, and we're just going to mix those together. We're going to add some pectic enzyme. We're going to add some EC1118. We'll take a gravity. I don't have a clue what this gravity is going to come out to be, other than it's going to be at least 1070. So it'll be higher than 1070. I haven't done any of the calculations. I think the last time I did this recipe similar to this, but it was a 1 gallon batch, it was like 1092, if I'm not mistaken. What makes liquor a whiskey versus a bourbon or a rum? So the classifications for those 3 are pretty simple. A rum is basically a spirit that's made with...
Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. What's going on? What is this tomfoolery?
We were talking about how it would be good to have a soundboard sound for people walking past.
Just like as you walk in
It's
by,
like-
just go like,
Yeah, he was cracking us up.
So a rum is a liquor made with cane sugar or cane sugar products.
Liquor. I barely know her.
Whiskey is a liquor made with grains, and a bourbon is a whiskey that specifically has 51% corn at least, and it's an all grain, and it's made in the U.S., and it's aged on new American white oak. I think there's one more classification I'm not thinking of.
Hagar with the 5 gifted.
Hagar, thank you, brother. New members have been mashed in. It looks like YouTube is not doing the gifts again. That's a bummer. That's all right, Hagar. You'll still get, if the gifts don't go through, YouTube will refund you. And either way, you get the entry.
If we know they're not going in, because if I'm like, oh, I can just send 5 gifted.
Well, the thing is, we don't know for sure.
That's true. We'll do them.
They're
If you
at least not showing up.
If you get charged for them, 100% you get them.
Rimfire, glad you made it. Thank you. Glad you're here, bro. So if I aged some of the super simple, it wouldn't be eligible for bourbon status. It would check several of the boxes. Some of the boxes we don't worry about as moonshiners, honestly. The fact that it's made in the U.S., who cares? Like if you're making a bourbon and you're, say, Duke over in the U.K., you just call it a bourbon. It's it is 51% corn at least. It's not an all grain, but also people don't care about that. And it's not aged in a barrel. You could put it in a barrel, but that kit comes with oak sticks. I would still have no problem if you made it and called it a bourbon. Bourbon rule number 3, not distilled above 160. I knew I was forgetting one.
I don't know that all is not lost there.
I mean, that's got a good smell. Other than the color, it's clear enough. We're going to be able to keep a portion of this.
Tastes 100% better than the last jar, which ain't saying much.
Ray says technically you can call it whatever you want. I agree with you, Ray. Lynn says, hey, y'all charge a tariff to Canada on your products. Man, all I know is we can't ship to Canada. We only ship inside the U.S. because shipping outside the U.S. is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we've got 3 gallons grape juice added. And this is 6 pounds honey.
Jesus.
Winsong says they're not going through. He's going to get refunded. He's going to get a refund notification from YouTube. I might try to contact somebody at YouTube, although it's also kind of like asking permission, and I think they may have a problem with the way we're doing the gifts because it's part of a contest. There may be some kind of YouTube rule there.
Why let some of them go through though, and not others? Is my
I'm not saying that's why they're not going through. I'm saying that if I contact them to ask them why this is happening, they will find out that we're doing that. And I think that might be a problem.
Sure.
I'll be drawing attention to something that maybe their terms of service
they don't like.
They might not.
They don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Might be worth.
I don't know for sure. Honestly, I'm just.
Might be worth pulling up the TOS and searching for keywords there.
Yeah.
And when we say TOS,
and I'm not the guy for
Terms
that.
of service.
Oh, okay.
I'm not the one to read a 42-page.
I don't read. I control F.
You guys can read?
How do tea tannins affect fermentation?
It's a great question.
That is a good question, Lipton. I don't know the answer. There's likely to be someone here in the chat that does, though.
Also, Lipton. Is that like Lipton tea? Do you work for Lipton? Are you a Lipton?
Shouldn't you know the answer?
Are you Lipton?
It does seem like it does. I will say, when you combine the username and the question,
What's going on? We do have a completely new setup, so
did you pay your Wi-Fi bill?
we'll the Adam will look into that, see what might be going on.
I think it's on their end.
We're getting a lot of them. Lynn, Friesen,
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it isn't us problem.
I'm
Trickster,
noticing
Scott.
we have drop frames on our end. It's not bad like before, but I'm gonna look into it.
I could take my phone off the Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, do that.
Okay.
Hey, Noah, would you go back there to the office and turn the Wi-Fi off of that computer? Shut it down. Thank you.
Getting a little temporary lag in Wi-Fi, maybe. All right. What would be just a spoon? We'll do fine.
Yep. Oak and Agave in the house. Good to see you. For those of you that are just showing up and may not know, we are giving away one of these stills this month. The Mile High 8-gallon dual purpose pro still. What it looks like right now is not all of its components. There are multiple components. But yeah, we're giving one away in May. You can enter any purchase on the stillintheclear.com website, gets you an entry. Any purchase of a kit gets you a double entry, and 5 gifted memberships on YouTube gets you an entry. Fifth Horseman says it's better now.
Nice.
So we got 6 gallons grape juice. Wait, no, 3 gallons grape juice, 6 pounds of honey. Zach's getting that all stirred up. We'll add in some pectic enzymes. I'll grab some.
I'm good at stirring the pot.
Good at stirring the pot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a literal sense. Hey, what is the? I'm gonna ask you guys something real quick. What does it mean when someone says something's a double entendre?
Means that it has 2 meanings.
Yeah, 2 meanings.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. Rappers use it a lot.
That's true.
The good ones.
Yeah,
That's
I would
true.
agree with that. Mac 10 lay 'em on the flow like a mattress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After so many, YouTube puts a stop to the gifting. It's stupid. You'd think they'd appreciate the activity. I agree.
Real G's move in silence, like lasagna.
Like lasagna. Yeah, that's a good
That's
one.
a good one.
Yeah.
Double entendre right there. Yeah. Actually, that would be a triple entendre because silence is using 2 different meanings also.
Oh,
Because real G's moving in silence is not the same as saying the G is silent.
I take
Interesting.
Also, here's another good one. I take a chickpea smash, call it hummus. So what he's saying is he takes a girl,
Yeah.
he goes
Yeah.
for a urinary
Yeah.
break, not at this. All right, this is so it's he's just using the bathroom like normal, not with her involved at all.
Do you want to pause TikTok for this conversation?
I think it's fine. I've seen worse on there. And then hummus, obviously the main ingredients, chickpeas. Yeah,
that's good.
yeah, and you smash them, and there you got.
Wow.
Anyway, I don't know.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Shout out to Little Dicky.
Rimfire, can you check proof after you have added sugar and flavor to your shine? No, you need to check your proof first, then do your calculations. as if you were just proofing it down with water. There's calculations you can do to know what your proof is going to be after you've added flavoring and sugar.
This is going to be foamy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's
I think it's in there.
now we need, that's 3 gallons. We need 1.5 teaspoons. Exactly. Perfect. We'll stir that in and then we'll get a gravity reading. Like I said, last time I did a recipe similar, and it's not going to hurt anything.
I feel like it was about right. I don't know. When you looked at it, originally it seemed like not enough.
Where's the turkey baster? To find the turkey baster. The hillbilly wine thief. This is good preparation right here going on.
Diller, we get around, brother. We may just look like one really good, handsome, younger, well-read guy and just some other dude, but we are well-read, dude. And I've been to Mexico a couple times. So, well-traveled, well-read. No stranger to an all-inclusive down there in Cancun, I'll tell you that much.
That's right.
I've seen parts of the world.
We just had that today.
What are you looking for?
The turkey baster.
Getting Basted. Good restaurant, Branson, Missouri. Go there every time I'm in Branson.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Barbecue.
Big fan,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
That is a Riverwalk?
I'm sorry?
Is it on the Riverwalk?
No, it's right next to the Upside Down building.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Branson, Missouri, Christian Vegas. For those of you who have never been,
It's a great place.
highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Get that in my star sand. Go find our turkey baster.
I'll let you look for a minute. Mean Diller says we are very cultured. Let's see. Windsong's going to be helping Sulzane with some MeWe tech.
We used it back here. We're filling that up.
I sanitized it with the hydrometer and the test jar. They're both here. I sanitized them at the same time.
All right.
Oh, an actual turkey baster. I thought that was a double entendre. Can you say the recipe again? My feed keeps freezing. Oh, okay. Yes, it is 6 pounds of honey, 3 gallons of grape juice. There's no water. It's just the grape juice. No water added.
I'm getting flashbacks to the shine jar that went missing.
Yeah, right. Somebody's going to rewatch this and tell us where the turkey baster is. What's up, Joe?
What'd you bring us, brother?
Something for y'all to have fun with troubleshooting before it all out.
Oh, no.
Y'all do it now.
You seen a turkey baster laying around here, brother?
You want us to do it off or on the live?
I really, yeah, you can do it on live if you want. It's
All right, we can do that. Sparkling white grape peach.
And it's very high in alcohol content.
And you're not happy with it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I feel like it's way too strong.
Do you know what the ABV is? Did you calculate it?
No. I mean,
Okay.
that's the one where it broke.
Your hydrometer broke.
Yes.
Okay,
In the
gotcha.
middle of trying to do it.
Right.
So you're saying there could be some glass in this bottle?
No. They didn't break in there. Look, I broke it in the thing.
Well, this is just crazy.
Zach packaged it up in someone's order.
You know, and I'm thinking about this the whole time. We've got enough liquid in here for this.
Just drop it in.
Drop it in. Whoa.
1090 something.
Try.
Mr. Lopez jumps in. Good to see you.
Try
Glad
11.
you're here.
Try 1120.
1.120. That's pretty good. What is that, like 13%? All right, so I'm gonna go get a couple of glasses. And corkscrew, we'll try this wine from Joe.
15 and some change. 16 maybe.
I'm not even gonna say where's the corkscrew.
It is somewhere it doesn't belong. I'll tell you that much. I saw it somewhere and I was like, hey, that's out of place.
Well, at least I feel
Got
okay,
it.
I feel okay knowing that wasn't prepared to open a bottle of wine during the show. Next time you have to repeat a recipe because of it's freezing, say a few words and just hold, then say a few words and hold, then go. Gotcha.
I should just do the rest of the live show like Wilson view.
Right?
Howdy, Shiners. I'm remaining faceless for the duration of this live.
Just call him Wilson.
That's my Justin Bieber.
This is Justin Bieber wine?
Yeah, it's based on the label.
Oh, is that? I was wondering who that was. I don't know who
Is
that
this
was.
wine so high in alcohol content that it'll make you leave your monkey in a foreign country?
Did he do that?
He did do that. Let's not forget. Let's not forget. Huh?
Did he do that?
Yeah, he really did that.
That's crazy.
He got like a little bit of guff from like some foreign country that was like, man, you brought a monkey here. And he was like, just keep it. That's what happened. That is what happened. He was like, it was a whole PR thing. It was all over. Yeah.
Okay.
Got a lot of guff over it. Abandoned his monkey in a foreign country.
Hey, I love that you guys upgraded mics.
These are really
Yeah.
good mics.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I know. That's like I said. Oh, these are the ones Joe had. These
And you
are-
don't like that, is what you're saying.
It's just a little bit too much.
I like it a lot. I think it's really good. It's got great flavor. I don't think that it's
Oh, that
too
peach
hardcore.
is really strong. That's
Peach
a
came
good
through
smell.
awesome. Like, I don't see a thing in the world wrong with that. If you're saying it's just like really high
sip
alcohol
of that.
content,
Like I'm pretty like heavyweight. Like, I can drink a lot. Man, one glass of that and I'm feeling it. I feel like it's pretty high.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. I didn't because my stomach broke during like as I was trying to measure.
this is really good. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
would be.
it is a strong wine, and if next time, just do the same recipe
I did it,
and
it
just
was
back
better.
off the sugar a little
Yeah,
bit.
I did it and it was better.
having
Oh,
fish.
okay.
But not with the peach. I did it on I got a pomegranate, watermelon I just did last night. Racked it last night.
This is really good.
I like it.
Hey, what yeast do you want to use?
This is the wine. I can tell this is the wine. My wife would love this one.
You have the rest of that
Yeah.
bottle.
What,
All right, I'll take it home to her.
what yeast do you want to
She'll-
use?
She'll really like EC 1118.
Fine.
Oh, we're out of EC 1118.
Pick another one.
The KV1 then. Check the.
I like it.
Wait a minute. I can't remember if that's the one that has. Check the alcohol tolerance.
That's almost got a little
18%.
piney
Well, I'll read it.
taste in it.
Got it.
I like that.
Have a good one, man.
See you, brother. Nice to see you.
Okay, what have I missed?
I think Duke did his first, as an initial I'm going to bed, but he'll probably continue to watch.
Right.
What else we got? I'm scrolling for questions.
Just trying to make sure I don't miss questions.
Yeah.
Winsong says he'll be sleeping at the shop in that god awful recliner.
Oh,
Whoa.
Okay.
What's your beef with the recliner?
I think I'm in trouble.
I love that thing.
looks like the link to check out this still on Mile High is not working.
Oh, really?
Our link's broke.
Well, that's a bummer. Just a heads up, the link to check out the still on the Mile High you're giving away on your website is not working. So the link that we just put in the chat, or are you saying the link on when you go to my website and try to link over there, it doesn't work? Because I can fix the one on the website. I can fix the one in here too, just not like at this moment.
Okay.
It's good. I like it.
The wrong lid.
Well, I mean, it's a brewer's best bucket.
There you go.
What a seal.
Had to put your ass into it.
Yeah. Whew.
Well, there we go. So 1.120, you said 15%?
1120, a little over 15%.
15% mead coming up. Yeah, it'll be good. And that'll be strong and it'll still be good. Or if we wanted to, we could neutralize it before it finished out and make it semi-sweet. Stop it at like 14% alcohol. Leave a little sugar in if we wanted to do that. Winsong, you'll have to pick him up and bring him to the shop at 4 a.m. What? I don't understand why. Oh, is everybody thinking I'm drunk? Is that what it is?
Well, you are
I'm only
hammered.
catching half of the comments about that conversation.
Oh, sorry.
What, did you break it?
No.
Oh.
When was the last time you seen me mess anything up?
Okay. On the website, okay. I will. I'll work. I'm not going to get to that tonight, but I'll get it solved tomorrow. Thank you for the heads up, Horseman. I appreciate it.
Well, how about that? Quick, easy, painless.
Yeah.
We'll have 3 delicious gallons of Pyment here in
A month.
30 to 90 days.
Yeah. The link in the red banner on the Still and Clear website is working. All right. Cool.
This is a really good comment. Shiny Groudon said Zach's treating that table like it's on WWE. Yeah, I was about to ram an elbow through the center of it when I couldn't get that lid on. That was. You guys ever get frustrated by like small little nothing
shit,
tasks?
yeah.
Yeah, dumb shit where you're just like, I want to snap this in half over my head,
Yeah.
throw it out a
I
window.
get that feeling sometimes.
Yeah, just go into a rage.
It used to happen a lot when I was in construction, and
Oh,
it was the caulking gun that would always get me. You know, they'd leak after you stop. I'm not going to get
The
into it.
smallest
But it was like-
inconvenience while doing any form of manual labor, dude, I'm telling you right now, that gets me in a different headspace.
Yeah.
That's true. Holy
I don't know
crap.
what it is, man.
I don't either.
Like, I think it's a combination of you're doing something you're not necessarily in love with,
Right.
and then something happens,
Yeah.
and you're like, man,
Adds insult to injury.
yeah.
Come on.
Okay, I'm dialing
Thinking
up.
about it.
I just dialed up the electric a little bit, and then I killed the propane.
I think each jar is going to get a little bit better than the last, and hopefully by the time this 4th jar comes off, we're like, oh wow, pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll see. And 2, like, hey, even if it's not, maybe worth doing a double distillation on. Maybe worth doing that and then evaluating, okay, is this good usable liquor, or is this just a sack run, or a for the faints, or for what?
I mean, I think this is going to be faints.
Yeah.
Is what it's looking like to me. Because number one, the entire purpose of the run is not being accomplished, no matter what happens. Just to find out what the flavor of that corn is.
Yeah.
I can't trust it now because I fucked it up in the beginning.
Yeah. You said the F word.
Oops.
Sorry for cussing.
Sorry.
Sorry, brother. Is that guy still around?
Winsong
What's Sketch
says-
doing these days?
He got
Who?
leaked for being.
Well, I know that,
Yeah.
but like, you remember Sketch?
Sketch.
What's he doing?
What's up, brother?
What's up? Hello, brother.
Oh,
Probably still
I know
playing
you're
video
talking about.
He's still around, right?
Still playing video games, but he's kind of fallen off the radar ever since.
Good for him. Shout out to Sketch, longtime
So-
viewer of the show.
really?
Will
Yeah,
you go back? Winsong
fan.
is saying, Sai, you have to go back and read Whiskey Rebel's comment.
Okay.
Can you track that down? Or
Sure.
I don't know how far. It's been a minute, so I don't know how far
Let's
back it is,
look.
honestly.
Whiskey Rebel.
You got to put the bucket on the floor and stomp the. That's what I should have done.
Lynn, we are in the state of Arkansas. Kansas.
Unless you're a federal agent, and we are outside of the contiguous United States.
Are we talking about
Virgin Islands.
Psy getting pickled tonight?
Is it still 7 to 10 days or more going to the still? Still 7 to 10 days or more going to the still. John, I'm not sure. I'm not real sure what it is
I
you're
think he's got
asking.
that comment pulled up down here. I don't know if that's the one.
Is that the one? Winsong?
Winsong, get Psy a Depends ready. He's getting pickled tonight. Okay, that's probably the one. I don't know. Maybe he asked a question.
I knew a dude over Oklahoma City way that anytime he was referring to anybody getting like too much to drink or something, he would say they're in the bag, or they're about halfway in the bag.
Yeah.
And that's I like that. I don't
do
hear it
too.
a lot,
Yeah, I like
but
that.
I like it.
I do too.
Yeah.
For fermentation, okay. John, 7 to 10 days is a good little standard, but you can't count on that. So, because there are variables that affect fermentations, temperature being the main one,
Yeah.
your yeast that
Did
you
they answer
use, so 7 to 10 days is just kind of a standard answer, but it can be longer than that. We had one that we fought with for a month to get it to finish.
Longer, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
It was like 45 days or something like that. Started off at my house, wasn't doing anything. Brought it over here, ran all kinds of tests on it. I mean, we had damn
Fought and fought.
IV EKG hooked up to this thing. We were running pH meters through it, checking gravity. I mean, it just was just
And it finally finished.
stubborn
It
permanent.
just finished.
Took our time with it and did all the right stuff and added what we needed to at what points where it was needing and put some extra heat on it and nursed it back to life, and it finished out.
And I think the final conclusion was it's just taking its time.
Just taking its
Just
time.
got to wait. And then we did one the other day.
There's probably
with
too much sugar in it to begin with too, which didn't help it.
Yeah.
But it was a combination of a few things. It was cold, maybe a little too much sugar. It stalled for a little bit. pH got a little wonky. It encountered several problems during the same ferment. Sorry, something to fix it.
I think I might. I think John Taylor might be referring to the mead we were just making. So that was a Pyment, which is a subcategory of a mead, grape juice, honey, and it's like a wine. So we're not going to distill it. We're going to let it finish fermenting. It's going to take probably 2 weeks to ferment, and then we're going to give it a couple more weeks, let it kind of age out and let it clear, and then we'll bottle it. We're not going to distill it. If that's what your comment was about, because I also see that you say I haven't thought about using honey.
I am going to say real quick,
Yeah.
Noah was staring at me earlier and he was licking his lips while he was doing it,
Oh my goodness.
and it makes me a little uncomfortable. Okay? But I just want... But he did just sell me a bush apple, so we're good. And I love you.
He likes to lick his mustache. It's a tick for him.
Bush apple. Don't know if these have made it around to your parts yet, but I love them. They are delicious.
I had my first one. It was pretty good.
Oh, you did have one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It
awesome,
was
right?
good. Yeah, I liked it.
Look at
It's glory.
that. Dude, we could even do a little, hold on.
Little ASMR.
Might have to get really close to that.
The Duke
Oh,
says
yeah.
he's just about finished lurking.
We're done.
So,
We're done. Alan Barker over on TikTok says, does turbo yeast actually cut down the fermentation time? I can tell you, Alan, with absolute certainty, yes. Yeah, I mean, if it's advertised at 24, a 48, or a 72, is it actually still working a couple, 2, 3, 4 more hours after? Yeah, probably, absolutely. But will it take you from a 7 to 10 day fermentation to a 20, obviously mash depending, 24? Yeah, it will. I mean, they're not
the
lying.
24-hour we just did the other day was like 25 hours.
And they're not lying
And it was
to you.
done.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Also, we had a guy in here earlier, I don't know if he's still around, but Shady Homesteader, who takes one of those 5-gallon satchels and dumps it into 50 gallons worth of mash and
5
it's
days,
done
he
in
said.
5 days.
Yeah.
So maybe we could have been getting a little bit more bang for our buck out of those little satchels, but I don't know. That Shady Homesteader, he's a straight shooter. I don't think he'd fib to us.
I don't think so.
I think it's worth a try.
Ray says you got to make honey shine. Yep, still haven't done that.
I think we just made 3 gallons, possibly. I don't know.
We're not fermenting that.
Yeah, I don't want to either. We ran out of Pyment around here. I don't know what happened.
That's the problem with making
Drinking
honey
it all.
shine.
I do know what happened.
I just like it best as mead. I don't want to ferment it. I mean, I don't want to distill it.
Yeah.
It makes me think of the muscadine brandy I made. After I was done distilling it, I thought, I wish I'd have just left that as
Left it a
wine.
muscadine one.
Yeah, it was much better.
It would be tough. I don't know why that is too, but like a muscadine one would be hard for me to distill. I just love
I
it
won't
so
ever
much
do it
as a
again.
muscadine one.
I won't ever do it again.
Yeah. I've got a little weakness for muscadine wine for sure. Saw a comment up there that I wanted to get to. Oh, Shiny Gruden says, guessing it's like Angry Orchards. Nope. It's way better. It's lighter. It's not as sweet, which is what I hate about Reds or Angry Orchards or any of that. It's like a lighter Angry Orchard in terms of the sweetness. I'm not a big sweet drink guy.
Time to get that jar.
See you
Fan
later,
kickback
Hagar.
on. SCR kickback on fan wise. Haven't gave that thing a little touch.
Does
Here
it have
lately.
room
Yeah,
to vent?
It does. It has vent holes on both sides.
What about intake? Where's the intake at?
I'll tell you, bud.
Opposite sides. It's got holes on both sides.
I see.
I haven't opened it up and looked in there and fully digested it, but
I think there's just too many components in a little box.
it is a small box. The turbo worked for me in 2 days. Yep. Every time I've used it, it works as advertised. And more I'm thinking about that bourbon that was stuck, that beginner bourbon.
Yeah.
I think that's
We
what got
did.
it back going. Was
Yeah,
turbo
we
yeast.
actually
have
did
any
put
more,
some
do we?
turbo yeast in it, and that is what solved it.
It's a cure-all.
The
Mark Morgan,
Apple?
aka Uncle Moonshine, asked, "What was the last proof?"
The last proof we did, which was on the first jar, was 22. And I haven't even proofed the other 2 jars, mainly because I'm just not that worried about them, because this is all
They're all going to
Thanks.
get dumped into faints.
this whole run just kind of a bust, aside from just the learning experience.
What did we say? 36 episodes? 32?
I think it's 4.
34?
Yeah.
Yeah, 34.
It's a good run.
episodes.
Can't win every race, you know? what I mean?
Right. This one is jar number 2 is 115.
Fifth Horseman asks, does copper really make a difference in taste compared? So does stainless really make a difference in taste compared to copper? I started out with a small 1.5 gallon Chinese pot still and then went to a 10 gallon from Clawhammer, and I was surprised in the difference. I think that a majority of that is probably a difference in the quality of still and the way that it's designed. In terms of just running anything from when you go from 1.5 gallon to 5, 10, 15, 20, it's going to be a big difference.
It is on a 1.5 gallon still. It is almost impossible to make good cuts. Yeah, almost impossible.
That's the problem, right? Is you have such a small 1.5 gallons. Think about that. 10%. If you got a 10% mash on 1.5 gallons. You are making 0.15 gallons of 200 proof liquor. So, you're talking about, probably like half a quart of hearts.
It's like a pint.
Half a pint rather.
Yeah.
Of hearts. Like it's hard to make anything good on that size. It's just really hard.
And I can tell you this, I don't notice a big difference between copper and. In fact, I bet I couldn't blind taste the difference between copper and stainless.
Now, I will say, if we have a column that's packed with mesh, I can tell when we do that.
Oh, yeah?
I feel like I can pick that out almost. It's like it puts a specific flavor in there.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because sometimes we pack those columns, pretty tight with copper. And I don't know if it's just the vapors having to fight so hard to get up through that.
No.
And maybe it's an aspect of all the reflux.
I was going to ask you, it's also when we're trying to get close to neutral.
Sure.
So is it just the fact that it's neutral that you're picking up on? Because you can make neutral without copper.
I feel like there's a tinge in there. I feel like it's like, I don't know. It definitely could be that. I'm not ruling that out, but it does.
Hey, Noah, do you have any more of the apples?
One left.
Will you save it for my wife? She's asking for one of those redneck beers. I think she must be talking about that.
She's getting an apple.
Thank you.
Redneck beer.
Got to try Turbo, tried Fleischmann's yeast, and ferment is way too long. Yeah, Fleischmann's, honestly, that's not the one that's one of the last ones I would choose is a bread yeast to make moonshine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not made, it's made for making bread. And so it's, it's just not the ideal choice. If you like the taste of the Fleischmann's, then just go with Daddy. Get some Daddy yeast.
I'll say this with full confidence. We don't sell the Fleischmann's, right? Like, it's available in every grocery store. We don't sell it here. I think that in some mashes, it works like awesome. I think it's ideal.
Low gravity mashes, there's nothing wrong with it.
I think it's awesome. And I think if you find a mash where you're using that yeast and you're real happy with it, you absolutely should continue to use it. But I think when depending on your gravity, what my fear is leaving sugar in my mash and putting that sugar into my pot and burning that sugar.
Yeah.
So, depending on your mash bill, right? If you're not going to get up over 9%, what does that come to? Like 1060?
Yeah.
So if you don't have the capability to go over 1060, if you work all the way down, and you like it, you should use it, I think. I mean, because again, take the breakfast bourbon for example. It was the bread yeast, and it turned out freaking awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. Mean Diller says time for an A/B test on the live. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We've
done one before.
We did a double blind taste test between single distillation, 1.5 distillation, and a double distillation. We could do a double blind on this was made with copper still. This was made with.
I might set some out. I might set some out and label them when I do the 24-hour live. just because I'll be running a bunch of different stuff.
Well, but the way you would have to do it though is
I'll label them A and B and tell Adam what, or whoever, what A is and what B is, and then they mix them up and put their own numbers, just like we did them last time.
yeah. But what I'm saying is you have to use a still for each one that is very similar. So you can't take this still and compare this to the Alembic.
I think I would do either the Copper Stilco or the North Georgia with the DRC.
I think you would have to do the keg steel, all stainless,
Right.
and then the Copper Stilco with the copper
on it.
column.
Yeah, that would
Because
be
they're the
most
same
similar, I
size
guess.
pot, they would
That's
be the
true.
most similar.
Maybe something worth doing.
Yeah, I think it would. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Just run the same mash in both. One through stainless, one through copper.
Yeah,
Can't we tell the difference?
yeah. And I think it would also be good to have in the shop as a blind taste test for people who just come in.
We get that
and
question
ask
in
that
person a
question,
lot, yeah.
Is copper or stainless?
Does
is there
this make a difference? Should you absolutely be using? Because it's like it's broached from the point of view of like, oh, I should definitely be using copper, right? And that comes from a bunch of different places. There's kind of a folklore about flavor, and then also it's just the traditional copper still. You know, it's the whole nostalgia of moonshining and all that stuff. And I watch sometimes the glow leave people's eyes when I'm like, I can't tell the difference.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just because it used to be, well, it is easier to work with than stainless.
Stainless is easier to work with, 100%.
Stainless is easier?
It's easier to clean.
Oh, okay.
There's two ways to look at it. From
Okay.
a maintenance side, he's right. Stainless
Maintenance.
is the one.
I meant like making.
Yeah,
it.
from like heat, copper is a much better conductor, so
True.
you heat up faster.
True.
Well,
Of course, you cool down quicker, but that's the stainless is typically it can be cheaper.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
you're comparing apples to apples, and it's much easier to take care of. Like when we're done
Yeah.
with this run, we'll take it back there and we'll rinse it out,
And it'll be good.
and we don't have to do another cleaning run on it. Like
Yeah.
with the copper steels, you got to occasionally do a cleaning run.
I saw a guy running a stainless, I don't know if it was a 5 or an 8, what it was. But he's running a 5 or 8 gallon stainless pot through his dishwasher.
Yeah.
He's just like putting it in there and he's like, that's how I wash my steel. I'm like, hell yeah.
I mean, that's how easy it is. Yeah. Let's see. David Blair asks, are you totally on electric now? The answer is yes. We're on electric completely.
Richard asks, where are you at on that 24-hour live, Zach? I am updating right now. I'm off the Wi-Fi, but I'm like right at 9,600. So like 400 away. Done like 250 this week so far. So
Maybe like next weekend.
yeah, so not this weekend, but this coming weekend, if I can get to about like, maybe if I can get to like 9,800 by Monday, I'll probably just go ahead and announce it for the following Friday.
Yeah.
I just plan on doing it then. Because just scheduling wise for me, that's going to work really well. And I think we'll be close enough that we'll be all right.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and cork this so I can take it home.
Yeah, I think she's really going to like this.
She's going to, yeah.
That is Justin Bieber on this. Did you notice that before?
I noticed
shot of
there
that,
was a
Adam.
guy on there that I thought Joe put one of his
What?
buddies on
Oh,
his
yeah.
wine bottle. That's weird.
I'm gonna zoom in on that, Zach.
Look at that. Getting out of the shot there. Isn't that crazy? What a neat little label. Georgia peach, sparkling white grape peach.
It's good, man. I like it. Did you try it,
Oh,
Zach?
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You tried it, Zach? Did you try it?
Yeah, it's good. You want to try some?
Oh, I'll have more. Are you offering?
Put that on the floor for I screw something up.
Yeah, the center of this table has seen some reviews. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I think he should be pretty happy with that.
It almost tastes piney. A little pininess to it.
The pear came through pretty hard on it.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That element is working well. Yeah. I mean, we're not burning a hole in the ground, and
I did notice earlier, now the fan has come on.
fan's
but
on, yeah.
earlier, that box was pretty warm
really.
when I was adjusting. Yeah.
Let me feel the chords real quick. Chords are fine. Box is hot.
Yeah.
Hotter than it was earlier.
Yeah, I think for certain the next version of the prototype is going to be in a bigger box.
All right, this is more what I'm used to on a typical run in terms of what I'm smelling so far.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Still got a little bit of a
a
tinge.
little tinge, right? I don't know. Look at it from a little tinge.
Yeah, a little bit. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking on the back end it's a little off. That should really be hearts, and I don't know if it's the Bloody Butcher and it just finishes weird, but it's like it's got a, how do I describe that? It almost tastes like, you know when you take an Advil or something?
Yeah.
It's almost like when you swallow it, like the aftertaste of like a pill or something almost.
Huh.
Slightly
Yeah,
sweet.
I'm not even going to taste any. I can still see like there's oil in this one too. So like all four of the
That could be the
jars
oil that I sipped off there.
have the oil in it, which is just
So I've
from
tasted that oil before and it's similar.
the residue from the puke.
Yep. That'll just have to be re-ran.
Yeah.
It would be interesting too if we just saved this, didn't throw it in with the rest of our faints. If we saved this to itself and did a double distillation on something that's clearly not a good run that we know we need to clean up. If we held it out to itself
Yeah.
and
But I mean, we would have to do this 2 more times because we're only going to get a gallon. How are we going to double still a gallon?
yeah, and it's coming off at like 115. Yeah, you're right.
Dwayne says tinge smidge. How's it taste?
It's not good. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's got an off flavor. I don't know. Again, I don't know if just chalk that up. I'm gonna assume to not just chalk that up to the butcher, because people universally seem to really like the butcher. And now I will say, when we were mashing the butcher in, I thought to myself that corn was a little bit, and maybe this is just me, but I thought it was a little blander in terms of taste than most of the other corns that we've tried and played
And you're
with.
talking about tasting the mash itself.
Just tasting the mash, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think for me to fully know for sure, I'd have to rerun it again. And I'm sure when we rerun it again, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is great. But
Richard is asking, what percentage
okay.
are you running at now? And I think you're probably asking about the SCR. And it's at like medium, high.
yeah. Also, it's the top of the hour, 7:00. So we are going to take this opportunity to take a little break. You should as well. Okay. Listen, our bladders aren't the same as they used to be, and things are creaking. We've got to get fresh drinks. Maybe we got to visit the bathroom. While we do that, as a group, there's going to be a video that plays. It's going to show you what happened before we started the live tonight. And it's also going to share a couple quick words from Mile High, the fine folks over at Mile High that are helping us give away a dual purpose pro to one of you fine folks out there. So take this opportunity, hit the bathroom, hit the fridge, grab another beer, and we will be right back.
This is the Bloody Butcher.
A lot of firsts tonight. We got the Bloody Butcher.
Yeah.
We got an SCR controller, which we're running for the first time tonight.
Yeah.
Shout out old Whiskey Rebel. We got a prototype here. We're gonna sink or swim tonight, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if this thing works in front of the people.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to work fine, but you know,
I think it'll work good.
prototypes are prototypes. You never really know.
We did a little test on it before, dipped it down in some water and got it heating up and worked pretty good. I was pretty stoked about it. But yeah, what's our mash bill here?
This was 2 pounds per gallon, Bloody Butcher, and that's it. Just converted with the liquid enzymes.
Nice.
And so, yeah, we're going to put that in there. We're going to see how that goes.
Pour it over
You know, it's a lot of,
it's a crazy color.
yeah,
It's like strawberry milk.
yeah, kind of. We'll also get this, this mash is not super clear. So we're going to find out how easy it is to scorch on an electric element tonight, probably.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are we going to heat up to start with the propane, or are we just going to let the electric do work?
Well, I think we're going to need to. I think we're going to need to use the propane, or we're going to run out of time. That's enough. Oh, sorry. Save some of that sludge for something else.
Whoopsie! What else we got going on? Oh yeah, we're making a Pyment, which I'll let you know, I love Pyments.
Yeah.
Run us through that.
Yeah, so Pyment is probably, of all the things that are really easy to make, Pyment's probably my favorite, taste-wise. Comes out really good, super easy to make. I mean, there are complicated versions of it, but this is just grape juice from the store, 3 gallons of grape juice, 6 pounds of honey, yeast. That's it.
I think it much simpler than that.
I mean, I'll put some pectic enzymes in there just for good measure. Not even sure it's needed on store-bought juice, but I always put it in anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, better to use it and not need it.
Not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so we're going to be making 3 gallons of that tonight. And that's it. That's all we got going.
Yeah. Well, let's get this thing buttoned up and I don't know. Maybe we go in fast mode here. Just work as fast as we can for like the next 45 seconds.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, we're running this as short of a column as we can tonight because we want as little passive reflux as possible. We want to pull all the flavor, get a lower proof. You know, this might be coming off the still at like 120, 125, somewhere around there. We'll see.
Yeah.
But we're not using the big tall column, and that's another great thing about this still. So versatile. We're actually going to be running in kind of a pot still mode.
I like it, man. Try to get some of this flavor out of y'all. Well, that was easy.
Yeah. Probably the fastest setup we've ever done.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, wasn't too bad, man.
Like 4 connections, that's it.
Yeah.
So you can see we've just got this side glass in here just to give us a little bit of height. We probably could have even ran it without the side glass if we wanted.
Yeah.
But that's what we got, and hopefully we're going to pull max flavor off of this Bloody Butcher so that we can kind of get a flavor for it, you know, and it's one of the nice things about having the heirloom corn here now. We get to start experimenting with stuff, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. Well, grab a drink and enjoy the show.
Woo.
And I'm back. Zach is taking a little extra long break. But I'm here. I'm here for you. I see Ren has joined the chat. A lot of you probably already know Ren in the Moonshine for Beginners group. She usually does not have time to hang out with us. Good to see you here, sister. What else we got? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just dipping my toes in and seeing what might be able to start doing. Yeah, so there's actually a lot of people in this chat right now that have been in the same spot as you, and you just kind of got to jump in, play around in it. Join the Moonshine for Beginners group. If you're a brand new beginner, that is, I promise you, the place to be. You'll get more help there in just a few days than you can get watching 3 weeks worth of videos. But yeah, jump in. I'm sure you'll love it. Adam has dropped the links to the Moonshine for Beginners group in the chat right now. Just click one of those links, go over there and join. One of our admins will get you accepted. Yeah, Terry. Oh, I saw the question right as we were taking the break. It is a 1650, the wattage on the element that we're using in this still. What is the capacity of mash you can make in a 55-gallon drum? It depends. If you're making a sugar wash, you can do like 54 gallons because a sugar wash doesn't typically have much of a cap. If you're doing like an all grain, typical all grain, like corn, barley, wheat, you can do like 48 gallons and you're safe. Let's see, maximum capacity. Yes, I have a moment of time to myself, Ren says. Well, the fact that you have some time to yourself and you chose to hang out with us, we're honored. Thank you very much. Reagan says, we just honked at you, Si. Yeah, I was standing outside and you honked at me. My immediate instinct was to just turn around and scream, I'm married, because it happens all the time. Girls honking at me when they drive by. But yeah, that's what Zach said. That was y'all. Sweet. Whiskey Panda, sweet. I'll hit it up. Yeah, for sure. I promise you, you will not be disappointed joining that group. And of course, watch all the videos we have on Still in the Clear. Lots of good stuff there. There are also on the Still in the Clear website, you can download the guide sheets. We've created several just guide sheets where they take very specific parts of distilling, break it down into kind of really digestible size guides. Those are very helpful. I'm sure there are people in the chat that can tell you how helpful those have been to a lot of different people. And you can go to stillintheclear.com/guides. It's a free download, doesn't cost anything. They're printable. It's like a PDF. Matt Davis, sugar wash, 1 gallon water per 1 pound of sugar. 1.5 pounds of sugar is about a minimum. You can go up to 2 pounds of sugar without getting into any issues. Yeah, Zach's jumping in. Whiskey Rebel story time with Cy. Okay. Of course, I will choose to hang out with you. Oklahooch is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Cy, would charcoal clean that product up? No. This is not something I would even try to charcoal. I mean, it would do something. It would do some, but this is just going straight into the faints. This run is a bust. We screwed it up, and that just happens sometimes. Oklahooch for president, or at least county commissioner. Your instruction sheets with the kits are perfect for your information. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. The sheets that we put in with our kits are the same sheets that you can download. Although, like if you buy one of the kits, you'll get 3 or 4 of the sheets. When you get the download, it comes with, I don't know how many, 13 or 15 different guide sheets. Lynn says, I think I'll go with turbo yeast on the next vodka wash. Poor results with Fleischmann's. Yeah, especially if you're doing vodka. A turbo yeast is, a lot of vodka folks use turbo because some of the complaints of turbo is that it puts off an off flavor. Now, I didn't get that with the last batch of turbo that I did, and it was a straight sugar wash. But if you're doing a vodka, you're going to make a neutral spirit anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. So turbo yeast for a vodka is a good choice. Zach says you were right about the women's restroom. 10 out of 10. Oh, brother. Let's see. Not a screw up. It was an experiment. Well, I mean, it really wasn't that. I mean, it sort of was an experiment, but it was certainly the learning experience that a screw up ought to be. Whiskey Rebel's letting us know to swap the jar out. You are right.
Try not to clip my beard in this thing.
Jar is still a little tinted and still oily. I would imagine it's going to be oily all the way through at this point.
Yeah. Which I've heard other people say with the Bloody Butcher that it can be a little bit oily just when everything goes right.
Yeah, surely not that oily though. But yeah, I have heard that also. Oklahooch says, Cyrus has some great, awesome info. That's where I got my start. Cyrus can tell you he's seen my start. Yeah, that's right. Oklahooch came into the shop. Was talking about making shine. I guess that's, how long ago was that, Oklahooch? 8 months? 6 months? I don't know. How long was that? Do you remember? My
like
time is always way off.
October? A year this month. Okay. It was off.
Yeah, Sir Doug, it did puke.
Earlier in the run, like before we started, it did. And then we pulled everything out, checked some stuff to make sure the element wasn't scorched, the pot wasn't scorched. It wasn't. We put it back in there. It was just a puke. This is a prime example, I think, of getting too many new things going at once. One, short column, that's not new. We've done that before. It's been a while. With the element, with the Bloody Butcher. I probably overfilled the pot when we started. I mean, it was a culmination of a lot of things that just, I don't know, could have been done better. Also, first time on the element with this particular element, just the dial, getting it up, just got it up and going too hard, too fast, and that's the price you pay.
Ray asks, are you going to post the video for the Bloody Butcher mash and enzymes? Yeah. I'm not sure when it's coming out. Next week, probably. But I will be posting that video.
What free thinker? How are you, brother? Oh, yeah. This is... I'm just trying to remember to do this. Had so many of you guys call up... and ask questions and place orders if you some unfortunate few who were having issues with ordering online, and been getting a lot of comments about, man, really enjoying the lives, like thanks for all the like thank you. I think that's really cool. I mean, we work pretty hard and we try to make this the best thing that we can, and I think it's come a long ways. And so appreciate everyone who's kind of calling up and saying like, hey, this is awesome. I love watching these every Thursday. Just want to say thank you. So
For sure.
But yeah. Whiskey Rebel says, finish off that table. Zach and Adam arm wrestle. I don't know, dude. Adam's got some freaking cannons over there. And he's, look at that. He's convenient time to headset up there.
I'd say I'm in the fight left-handed, but right-handed, you got me every day.
Left-hander? I don't even know what would happen with that. I think maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I think a teenager could beat me left-handed.
I'm part of that 13% of people, the lefties.
Is it lame that when you said that, I kind of tensed my left arm up
Just
to see
kinda
like
feel-
what
Where am I?
I'm feeling pretty. I don't know. Like I thought initially, I was like, yeah, I don't know about the left, and then I did that, and I was like, that feels pretty good. I don't know. Maybe. No, I don't know. I'm gonna read that out. Hold on. I'm reading Shady Homesteaders. I'm back. Sorry, I didn't. Oh, okay. I'll be honest, Shady. When I read the first half of that sentence, I thought we were talking about something much more nefarious
Me
than
too.
an automobile dealer.
Right.
But yeah, hey, congrats to the kiddo on her first car. That's awesome. I hope that she follows suit and, like me, gets an 82 square body that she has to construct out of 3 different vehicles with lawn mowing money. That was fun. That was a fun project to have, learned a lot. It was also cool because like when we first did it, my dad was like, is this what you want? And I was like, yeah, sure. This sounds awesome. He was recommending it. He's like, yeah, I'll help you, whatever you need. And he helped me like the first couple times. And then after that, he took a real figure it out approach to like a 16-year-old kid out there working on a carburetor, pulling like water pump off. He's like, just water pumps, 4 bolts. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I've never worked on a vehicle before.
How hard was it for you the first time that we told you how?
Yeah,
Right,
It was a
right.
real sink or swim type approach to working on a vehicle in the middle of summer.
My first car, my mom bought for me. It was the shell of a '64 Falcon.
Oh, that's
Nice.
sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I loved that
That's
car.
sick, dude.
Like, but it was like when I say it was a shell, it did have wheels, but it didn't have an engine, interior.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of jobs as a young teenager, and all the money went into that thing.
Oh yeah. I pulled the motor and transmission out of a 78, took the body off of an 84. I took the bed off of an 82 and just started piecing this thing together, man. There was some stuff that was good on the front end of the scrap motor that I put on the motor out of the set. I mean, it was just
Here's what I
Crazy.
loved about that '64 Falcon.
yeah.
Short of blowing an engine,
Yeah.
no matter where it broke down, you could get it running again. There were like 3 things it could be.
That's nice.
It was standard, so you could always push start it. Like
Jump, yeah. Roll start it.
there was literally 3 or 4 things that could go wrong if it didn't start.
Yeah.
I'm glad looking back that was the course of my first vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
But like at the time, it was like, one, you have 3 trucks. You don't have any that run.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, it was like 14 different colors, and it was just like a big, long work in progress. And the first motor out of the 78, shocker, did not last. And so I had to end up putting a new crate 350 in. And by the time it was all said and done, I had a nice truck. The brakes weren't ever very good on it. Rear-ended my sister's Mini Cooper and just moved on.
Yeah.
But I got a couple good years out of it. It was a nice truck.
Bennett jumped in. Good to see you, brother.
I like that.
Just say night at me.
Yeah.
Winsong says I'm one of those freaks that isn't right or left-handed. Yeah, she can do the same thing with her right as she can do with her left.
That's cool. Never been me.
Whiskey Panda applied to the Moonshine for Beginners. That's a great choice. I'm sure if you haven't already been accepted, someone's about to accept you into that group. It's a great group. You're going to love it. You got it one piece at a time.
That was it. I heard that song and I was like, this doesn't seem far off. Like, this adds up.
Yeah.
I sympathize with this guy.
Yeah, at the time, my stepdad, he helped me a whole lot on that project. Like, wouldn't have done it without him.
Yeah.
And I had like family member. I had a cousin that was an upholsterer, so took care of all the interior.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was a sick little car. Besides, like, it was not a hot rod. It had a straight 6 200 in it. Like, there was nothing fast about it at all, but it looked sharp.
Yeah.
When it was all said and done.
One of them had a pretty slick bench seat in it, and I took that out and put it in the 84 body, and that was the extent of the upholstery work that got done on that thing. It was like one of these three had like a passable bench seat that wasn't all jacked up.
Yeah.
Wasn't a bunch of foam showing.
Right.
And that's what I ended up using. I don't know what's happening. Are we about to melt this thing down?
Possibly.
I mean, it's hot, but it's not.
Lucretia says, I have a question about distilling outside hot and humid climate. Any problems? Not really problems, but if you're distilling outside, the climate that you're in is going to affect the distilling. So, for example, if you're running an outside and it's cold outside, you're going to get a higher proof because the ambient cooler temperature is going to be cooling down and creating passive reflux. But there's things like that are going to happen, but there's no real problems. You were about to point something out?
I just said Bennett's supervising Peach on our first run right now. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I hope it turns out good, man.
He also said Winsong's amphibious. I'm sure he meant
ambidextrous.
Right.
You dumb loser, dude. What a terrible misspeak that was. Man, I'd be so embarrassed right now if I was you.
I said the wrong word
You
there.
dumb hillbilly. No, I'm just kidding. I love Bennett. And I hope Peach's run turns out good. I know that they had a little bit of trouble with the mash, pitched some baking soda, got her back up, doing well. And yeah, I hope the run goes good, man.
Oh, yeah.
See how you do that? You hit them with a little, you give them a little jab.
And then a hug.
And then you come here, Bubba. I love you. When this is all over, we should get an apartment together. No problems here in Florida. Yeah, I was about to say, Uncle Moonshine over there, Mark Morgan, is probably the guy to talk to about distilling in a humid climate. I see him out there in that shine shack of his sometimes, and I think, my God, you are...
Sweat's pouring off of him
You
sometimes.
are used to this.
Yeah.
Because you do it frequently, and it seems to not be an issue. Whiskey Rebel says, Zach or Cy, make sure a wire isn't hitting the fan from shipping whenever you have time. I think when we get done with this run, we'll peel it apart and look at the inside of it and see what's going on.
I'm pretty sure that's not what is happening, just from the sound of when it's kicking on and kicking off. But yeah, we'll definitely open it up.
Check it out. Yeah, strawberry banana. That's right. Said, gee, my bad. Just don't let it happen again. It's not a problem.
What was the screw up? Colton is asking. Colton, we puked the still in the beginning. We heated it up. Three main factors went into this. We're using a very short column, which we don't typically do. We slightly overfilled the still, and we heated up too quickly because we were kind of testing out the new SCR controller and electric element. And those three things combined, we puked the still, and so that's what happened, Bubba.
It's just who is Zach wanting to shack up with? My wife and my wife only, especially if she's washing right now.
Yeah, she commented. She's watching.
I love you. You're the light of my life, and
She
I don't know what she's talking about right now.
She said that was us honking at you, or something to that effect.
Oh, yeah. I saw that when I was in the bathroom.
There it is.
Oh, look at that. She is light of my life.
That's right.
Oh, okay. You weren't asking me what the screw up was, were you, Colton? You were asking Daniel. The screw up was the temperature, because she keeps it like the house like a morgue.
We got DRC Stainless Works over on TikTok. How are you, brother? Hope you're doing well.
Dustin in the house.
Probably just taking a lunch break. About 8:30 there, Florida time. Guy's a work machine, dude. Like a little plow, like
Taking
an
his
old
first
Amish plow
15-minute
horse.
break of the day.
Imagine if Dustin had a spirit animal, it would be a mule,
Yeah.
just jerking logs out of National Forest all day.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got down there,
Jason
Ken? You guys
showed
like
up.
that one, huh? All right, what's it say? She loves her Make-A-Wish husband. It's fair. It's fair.
That was good.
I do sometimes. Sometimes I. Yeah, I agree. That's all. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you can say that, but she is the one with the wish, right?
That's true. If you want to run it from that angle,
yeah.
that is
I
true.
like that angle.
That is true. She's like, okay, last wish, give me someone awesome, badass, that is from the neck up extremely hairy, and then very streamlined Michael Phelps style. You know what I mean? Who's surprisingly athletic, and also is badass. I think that's what was her wish, and then here I am. DRC says busy. I don't doubt that, brother. You're always busy, man. No breaks for me, all hustle.
25 hours a day, 8 days a week.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, you know, like old man Popoff style, like, not saying he's old, he's not that old. Like you hear an older dude just with a good, strong work ethic, normally a southern farmer, a lot of those, not a shortage of those from where we're around.
Right.
And they're like, yep, hauling hay over here doing this. Hit the pillow around 10 p.m. Woke up the next morning at 3 a.m. Had me some couple eggs. That's him.
Yeah.
But he's in Florida and he doesn't farm.
Like that old man,
Yeah.
he's like, you're like, hey, how's your morning? Oh, pretty good. I just put up 1,000 bales of hay.
That's good.
Jesus, it's 6 a.m.
Come in from Tuscaloosa this morning. Just
we got a late start.
ripping
You
gear.
got a late start.
Hauled a load of shell down the road and got back over here. I mean, God, dude, that's like a real Jarms. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna elaborate on who that is or
Yeah.
how we know him, but like
It
that's
is.
that's who strikes me as. Yeah. Shout out to the hardest one of the. It's got to. I don't know, dude.
I'll tell you what,
Adam over at
there's
Copper
not-
Stilco too does a lot of hours.
Yeah. There's not a lot of people that make me tired when I watch them work, and he's definitely one of them. I'm like, dude,
Absolutely.
I could not. Like, I can keep up with most people. Well, I could. I'm a little longer than two, but
We're 6 days a week. Like, what is it? I don't know what it works out to. Like 10 hours a day. You do more. And on Thursdays, it's more like 12 to 13 to, whatever. And like, we do work a lot compared to the average Joe. Then you see him like, like some of these still builders, they're out there like 10, 11 at night, just, soldering away, welding, spinning a lathe. And I'm like, man, there's different levels.
There is.
What a guy.
nothing changing.
It's getting cloudy. Proof's dropping. Getting a little cloudy. Still has the same tinge. For those of you just joining in, we had a Bloody Butcher mash that we put off in this still. We are using an element for the first time on a brand new SCR controller with a brand new mash. And we thought something went haywire to begin with. We thought we may have scorched. Turns out we didn't scorch. We dumped everything out into another bucket, pulled the element out. It's clean, looking good. No burn in the bottom of the pot. Put it all back in there, restart it, get it heated up. Took a long time. And we puked it.
Yep.
So that's going to get ran again. Everything tonight that we're running, it's getting ran again.
I'm not even putting the coffee filters on.
When we shut the
I'm
camera
not
off,
even
we'll just dump it off
proofing
into a
most of
bucket.
it.
And, put it in our fancy jars.
Yeah.
Clean it up.
Jason Acosta is having a birthday. Happy birthday, brother. I did see, I saw a happy birthday comment earlier in the day. I don't remember where it was. I saw it. Maybe Facebook.
Alan Barker says, SCR, what's a good brand?
You can get a good SCR from Prohibition 1920, North Georgia Steel Company, Copper Steel Co., Phil Billy. You can get SCRs from all of those guys, and they're going to be good ones.
Yep.
I think Dustin, do you sell? He doesn't sell SCRs, does he?
I don't think so.
He just mentioned one by name at the bottom.
Inkbird. Yeah.
I didn't even know Inkbird made SCR. Well, it makes sense that they do. I have one of their temperature controllers for. Yeah, it makes sense that they would make them. He says no, he doesn't have them. I think most SCR controllers out there are decent units.
It seems kind of simple, right?
Yeah.
Like what goes into it?
Yeah.
I mean,
What's going on, Neil? How are you, brother?
I've bought all of the components. We're going to build one here ourselves.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Man, you could really go crazy with the cooling, big fans or even liquid
Right.
cooling or all kinds of stuff. That'd be cool.
Well, 7:30. What do you want to do here?
I'm okay with shutting down. I mean, this run is not going anywhere,
No.
and it's all going to be feints. So I'm thinking we call it for the night, honestly.
Okay. Well, what an interesting, kind of a lot different Thursday Night Live than what we normally have. A little bit of insight to just what can happen if you do enough runs and try different stuff and play with things. Like, here's what can happen sometimes. You saw it firsthand. That said, I still enjoyed it. Had a good time hanging out, shooting the shit with everybody, and fielding some questions from the chat. As always, I'm Zach. That's Cyrus. And we will be back next week.
No worries. I was just
No, come back to it. Go do it.
no, stop.
Do it.
No, I was just going to say.
Just kidding. The show goes on, baby.
In the morning.
We'll be back in the morning, guys.
See you guys in the Rise and Shine. And I love you. Goodbye.
We should get an apartment together.
We should move in after all this is over.